All right, let's talk about something that probably happens in your house every single morning. It's the great debate. Coffee first or toothbrush first?
So, picture this. You're stumbling into the kitchen, you're getting ready for the day, and you face this classic dilemma. Do you brush your teeth first, or do you dive straight into that glorious first cup of coffee? You know, it feels like a tiny decision, but it turns out the science behind it, well, it can actually make a huge difference for your smile down the road.
Okay, so to figure out the right answer here, we've got to understand what's actually happening inside your mouth. Think of it like a tiny showdown. It's basically your coffee versus your tooth enamel.
So let's talk about that enamel. It's basically this protective shield for your teeth. And get this, it's the hardest substance in your entire body. Seriously, it's tougher than bone. But like any good superhero shield, it has a kryptonite. And for your enamel, that weakness is acid.
And this is where things get interesting. Here's how that acid attack goes down. First, you drink your coffee. That introduces acid into your mouth, right? Well, that acid immediately starts to soften up that enamel shield, making it vulnerable. Now, if you grab your toothbrush right then and there, you're not just cleaning your teeth, you're actually scrubbing away a tiny, tiny layer of that softened enamel. Yikes.
But wait, there's more. The acid isn't working alone. It has this pesky sidekick, stains. You see, coffee has these dark pigments that are just desperate to stick to something. And their absolute favorite thing to grab onto? That lovely plaque that builds up on your teeth while you sleep.
Okay, so this whole situation gives us two main game plans, two strategies. In one corner, you have the proactive defense. That's brushing before the coffee to get your teeth ready for battle. And in the other corner, we have the risky counter move, brushing after to deal with the aftermath. Let's break them down and see which one comes out on top.
All right, round one. Let's talk about the case for brushing before your coffee. This is the defensive play, the one that's all about preparation.
So why would you do this? Well, it's a brilliant two-for-one deal. First, you're wiping out all that morning plaque. No plaque means those coffee stains have literally nothing to cling to. Pretty smart, right? And second, the fluoride from your toothpaste acts like a force field, coating your teeth and making them way more resistant to that incoming acid attack. And listen, this isn't just some random theory. This is what the experts, the dental professionals, overwhelmingly recommend. They're the ones who see the results, and the general consensus is clear. Setting up that fluoride shield before you drink coffee is just the smartest, safest move for your teeth.
Okay, but what about everyone on team brush after? I get it, the idea of drinking a beautiful cup of coffee when your mouth tastes like mint, it's just not for everyone. And look, this strategy can work, but, and this is a huge but, it comes with one absolutely critical, non-negotiable rule.
Let's go back to that enamel shield for a second. Remember how coffee softens it? Well, brushing right after your last sip is like taking sandpaper to that softened shield. It's truly the worst possible moment to brush. You're just fast-tracking enamel erosion, which can lead to some serious tooth sensitivity down the line.
So if you are a die-hard brush-after person, there is one number, just one number, that you have to commit to memory. This is the golden rule. It's the key that makes this entire approach safe.
And that number is 30. We're talking about the 30-minute rule. You have to wait at least 30 minutes, maybe even up to 60, after you finish your coffee before you even think about brushing. Why? Because that's how long it takes for your own saliva to work its magic, neutralize all that acid, and for your enamel shield to basically power back up to full strength.
All right, so let's put these two head to head. Brushing before, you get that protective shield. You stop stains before they start, super safe. Brushing after, yeah, you get rid of that coffee breath, but you're playing with fire if you don't wait for that 30-minute timer to go off. It's a high-risk situation for your enamel. So, we've looked at the science, we've weighed the pros and cons. It's time for the final verdict. Let's declare a winner and give you a simple action plan so you know exactly what to do.
And the winner, by a pretty clear margin, is brushing before your coffee. Look, for long-term health, it's just the safer, smarter, dentist-recommended strategy. It protects your teeth from pretty much everything coffee throws at them, and there's zero risk of damaging that softened enamel. It's the hands-down safest bet.
But hey, no matter which side of this debate you land on, I've got a few pro tips that every coffee drinker should know. First, as soon as you take that last sip, swish some water around in your mouth. It's a super simple habit that washes away a lot of that leftover acid and stain-causing stuff. Also, try not to add sugar. That just invites a whole different kind of problem for your teeth.
So what if you're in a rush and you forget to brush before, or you're just never going to give up brushing after?
Here is your official rescue plan. Step 1. Finish your coffee. Step 2. Immediately rinse with water. Step 3. Chew some sugar-free gum. Why gum? Because it gets your saliva production going. And as we now know, saliva is your body's own natural defense system for neutralizing acid and rehardening your enamel.
So tomorrow morning, when you're standing there looking at your toothbrush and thinking about that first cup of coffee, you can ask yourself, is my routine protecting my smile or is it punishing it? Because now you know the science to make the right call. Thanks for tuning in.